In Austin, I'm Adam Bennett. Authorities across the country are now going through their cold case files to see if they can link a serial killer with ties to Austin to any of their cases. After nearly 34 years of going unsolved, Austin police announced Friday that DNA evidence links Robert Eugene Brashears to one of the city's most infamous crimes, the yogurt shop murders. In December of 1991, 4 girls at a North Austin yogurt shop were tied up, shot, and burned. 17-year-old Jennifer Harbison, her sister, 15-year-old Sarah Harbison, 17-year-old Eliza Thomas, and 13-year-old Amy Ayers died. Today, a nail salon operates in the same spot on West Anderson Lane. Over the weekend, people left flowers and candles at a memorial plaque. Authorities said previously that they have linked Brashears to crimes in Missouri, Florida, South Carolina, dating back to the mid-1980s. Previous reporting indicated Brashears shot a woman in 1985 in Port Lucie, Florida, in the head. She survived. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison and served about 3 of those. Then in 1990, authorities say Brashears killed a woman after sexually assaulting her in South Carolina. Officials also linked Brashears to the 1998 murder of a woman and her 12-year-old daughter in Missouri. Brashears died by suicide in 1999. KVUE spoke to his daughter. She says she loved her father, the man she knew, not the person she says she knows now.
Because my father was a contractor, my father was a businessman, my father was a con artist, my father was a lot. My father was a man of a lot of hats, and he went from American Dad hat all the way down to your worst nightmare is the easiest way I could put that.
Deborah says while the families might not get justice from this outcome, she hopes this will be a step toward moving forward after all these years. 4 young men were initially arrested in 1999 as suspects in the yogurt shop murders, but 2 of their cases were overturned. The other 2 never went to trial. Former KVUE anchor Judy Maggio has covered this case for decades. She spoke to one of the victims' families. They say they are waiting to know for certain Brashears is responsible.
They went through it twice.
Yeah.
So when I talked to Bob Ayers, who's Amy Ayers' dad, today on the phone, what he said to me is, we are processing this. Of course they're relieved and so grateful for this police work that would enable them to find out who killed their daughter. But he said, I'm waiting to make sure it's 100%. And that's a natural reaction. They've been through this before. So yes, technology has come a long way, but in his heart, he wants to make sure it's 100% before he feels total vindication and total justice.
On Monday, we expect Austin police to lay out their case during a news conference. This horrific crime left Austin torn and at the same time brought people together to help in any way they could. KVUE's Bob Buckaloo shows us how the murders of those 4 young girls shook the then small community of Austin to its core.
In 1991, Austin still had a bit of a small town feel. That something so terrible could happen in a city where violent crime was rare, in a nice neighborhood where 4 young girls would die under such horrific circumstances. Many spoke of a city that had lost its innocence.
This was at a time when this didn't happen in Austin. People in town were scared. They were terrified. This is going to happen again. Could it happen to my kid?
A city was grieving. Funeral services for the 4 girls brought hundreds to a North Austin church.
I feel shock, I feel anger, I feel rage, and I feel loss.
Then grief was channeled into action as students and parents mobilized to help police find clues.
I know that you're doing this for the girls, and I know you're doing this for the city of Austin, and I know you're doing it for yourselves.
Volunteers handed out flyers at shopping malls. Others went door to door.
We're walking the neighborhoods today, handing out flyers and putting out white ribbons in an effort to find the murderers of the girls that were killed, and I can't believe it's yogurt.
Mom, is that fine?
That's great, honey.
The parents of the girls went on television to share memories of their children.
I guess the thing that I miss the very most is when she and her friend Michelle would go out dancing, and then they had this ritual of taking pictures of each other. They'd put their arms around each other and then hold the camera. One would hold the camera and click, and then the next one would do it.
Who could have done such a thing? There were thousands of leads and even some arrests that were later dismissed. Now, 34 years after the yogurt shop tragedy, it appears that the crime has been solved. Bob Buckaloo, KVUE News.
We're learning more about what led to a woman allegedly abandoning her newborn in a North Austin dumpster. According to court documents, the mother admitted to giving birth inside her apartment bathroom the night before the baby was found alive the following afternoon. That's according to an arrest affidavit obtained by KVUE News. It says 22-year-old Nelly Dinora Rivera Felipe told detectives she was scared and unsure about what to do with the newborn girl after giving birth on September 19th. She reportedly described her baby as lifeless. Records claim Rivera Felipe then admitted to putting the baby in a bucket and placing her into a dumpster that same night. Police say surveillance video shows someone matching Rivera's description, doing so just after 9 p.m. Passerbys did not find that baby until more than 16 hours later. Rivera Felipe is charged with felony child endangerment and abandonment. Prosecutors could file more charges later. Well, some people in Pflugerville are learning disaster response skills and how to help neighbors during emergencies before help arrives. The Travis County Office of Emergency Management hosted a Community Emergency Response Team, or CERT, training. 13 students signed up for that 3-day course. Cortland Ballou is a Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator. He says people will learn basic first aid, CPR, how to use a fire extinguisher, how to properly carry an incapacitated person, and much more.
The one thing you can't get back is time. So time is essential. Being able to respond effectively, efficiently is key. So with everyone armed with the same knowledge in order to effectively save lives and save property.
Ballou says after the training, people can join a reserve team to deploy in emergency situations. He hopes to eventually offer monthly classes in each emergency service district. Well, music lovers gathered at the Oakwood Cemetery on Saturday afternoon to enjoy the catalog of one family's life work. Local artists played interpretations of songs recorded by the Lomax family. Many members are buried at that cemetery. Concert officials say John Avery Lomax Sr. and his family traveled the country during the 20th century. They promoted and recorded diverse forms of American and world music that otherwise may have been lost to time. An event official says if not for the family's work, many popular artists may have never found a larger audience.
And were it not for his efforts and the efforts of his son and daughter, the folk music revival scene of the mid-20th century may not even have happened. We may not have even had the music of Bob Dylan were it not for the work of the Lomax family.
John Lomax Sr.'s children, Alan, John Jr., and Bess, carried on their father's work. After the show, guitar picks were laid at the family's monuments as a tribute. Well, speaking of music, Zilker Park is getting ready for the Austin City Limits Music Festival. Day one of weekend one starts on Friday. On Sunday, we saw crews working hard building those festival grounds. They'll keep working throughout the week. Now, the site will be off limits while the work continues. Those are the headlines in Austin. I'm Adam Bennett.